Good evening and welcome to the regular City Council meeting for the City of St. Peter, Minnesota. It is Monday, October 13th, 2025. At 7:05 p.m., we are called to order. Would all please rise for the pledge? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Everyone should have received a copy of the agenda. Are there any revisions or corrections? Hearing none, is there a motion to approve the agenda?
So moved. Second.
All those in favor of approval say aye. Aye. Any opposed? The agenda is approved. The minutes appear on pages 4 through 5 of the packet. Are there any revisions or corrections to the minutes? Hearing none, is there a motion to approve the minutes as distributed?
So moved. Second.
All those in favor of approval say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The minutes are approved. We have now time on our agenda for visitor comments. Is there a visitor who'd like to address the council on an agenda item? Hearing none, we will move on to general visitor comments. We have time for a very special visitor. So if you'd like to come forward. Good evening. I'm up first because I get to say nice things about you, and it's my honor to do so. It is my great honor to introduce this year's recipient of the 2025 Conrad Rettmer Commissioner Award, a recognition that celebrates outstanding leadership in affordable housing and community development. This award, named after Conrad Rettmer, commemorates those who go above and beyond in service to their communities, and this year's honoree exemplifies that spirit in every way. Hayride, Board President of the Housing and Redevelopment Authority of St. Peter, Minnesota, is more than a commissioner. He's a neighbor, a mentor, a problem solver, and a friend. His journey with the HRA began not in a boardroom, but as a neighbor to Parkview Manor, where he quickly became a trusted presence and helping hand. From filling in as maintenance staff to plowing sidewalks with his John Deere snowblower, Harry's commitment to his community is hands-on and heartfelt. Appointed to the board in 2019 and elected chair in 2021, Harry has consistently stepped up to support tenants, staff, and the broader community. Whether it's sharing vegetables from his garden, joining building events, or mentoring new personnel, Harry brings compassion, humility, and joy to everything he does. His leadership is not just about policy, it's about people. He treats the residents of Parkview Manor like family, and his dedication to safe, affordable housing extends across southern Minnesota through his work as a building inspector. Even in times of personal challenge, Harry has shown unwavering support to his colleagues, offering his time and energy to ensure the work continues with care and excellence. For his selfless service, visionary leadership, and deep-rooted commitment to community, it is my privilege to present the 2025 Conrad Rettmer Commissioner Award to Harry Jennis. We could all give him a round of applause.
Thank you very much. I'm still overwhelmed, to be honest with you. I didn't know this was happening. Everybody else had speeches, I didn't. But what I really said was from the heart. The reason why I'm here tonight is because of the residents. They actually came to me and said, there's a vacancy. We want you on the board. We need somebody who will listen to what's going on here. And that was prior to Michelle coming. So we kind of came together on the board. And
We're a package deal, Harry.
yep. And as much as this belongs to me, it belongs to Michelle and the residents. They are my family, really. There's, I keep saying that I befriended many of them. Many of them have no one to come to see. They're there by themselves. And I've befriended them. And I don't get much work done outside. Because if I'm out there, somebody's over. You know, and my wife would say, "What'd you do today?" I said, "Talk." But the residents in my heart are very special. I can tell you, they invite us, my wife and I, over to all of their gatherings. And what was really heartwarming is a couple of years ago, my mother and father-in-law died 10 days apart. The residents made a lunch for us, for our family. And I'm willing to do whatever I have to do for those people. They're great people. And I'm just happy that I can make them happy by what I've been doing on the board and how we've been governing. Because they're pretty special people. You know, and for many of them, this might be the last place they're gonna live. And when I look at it, I say, I want this place to be as if I was living here. And we've worked really, really hard to get there. First couple of years, all we were doing was trying to catch up. And now we've reached the point where now we're proactive. When someone moves out, we're able to go in and repaint that apartment, put new flooring down, new plumbing, new electrical. If they need new cabinets, we put them in. That apartment will be ready for the next 10 years. And that's what was not happening before. Why? I don't have an answer for that. But it was discouraging to me to see what was happening at the time. You know, I always say they were using hot glue and baling wire, and they were. I would always sub for their maintenance man whenever he went to Arizona. And there was one day, one of the residents came in and said, the float on my toilet broke. Well, instead of getting a new one, he went and got the hot glue and glued it back on there. And there was many times I went and put money out of my own pocket to get stuff done there because they just wouldn't approve of anything, you know. And I know the maintenance man was disgusted because that's what was happening. That's not happening anymore. And I think we are lucky that we're in the position financially that we are in, so that when we do have a vacancy, we can refresh that apartment, and it makes it more interesting and more likable for people coming in. And I think that's why we have 100% occupancy. People understand what's going on there, and people talk. And I can tell you that the stuff that's going on today wasn't even in my mind. I couldn't even think of how much harmony there could be in a place. And I'll give a lot of that to Michelle. She has really worked hard to make that a community. And we bounce things off of one another. We're both visionaries, like Todd and many of you are. And I always say that there was a saying a long time ago that Robert Kennedy used to say was, some people see things and ask why. I see things and say, why not? And I've kept that in my mind, in my policy, and whatever I do personally. And I hope that, you know, the rest of my life I can continue to do that. And I'm really honored to get this award. It means a lot to me, but I'll tell you, this is what the residents of Parkview did. Giving their appreciation for what I have done there. And like I said, they're very special in my heart, and they're actually part of my family. And so thank you very much for this honor. I appreciate it.
Well, we're not going to let you off the hook without letting Michelle have a chance to say a few words too.
Starting the job, I did not know what I was doing, but Harry has been the best mentor. Not only is he a board president, he's a friend, and he has exemplified what I have needed along this journey. And we work together with a little help of Todd and you guys helping us and things like that. So I'm extremely proud to say you are the Commissioner of the Year, not just in St. Peter, Sorry, Josh. But to the state. And he was a great example to the greater state of Minnesota of what a commissioner does. A lot of times, a smaller PHAs don't present our board members. And it showed other PHAs what a commissioner can do and that we are proud of. So, thank you.
Todd or Josh, would you like to add anything?
Well, my time on the board has been fairly short. It's only the past 2 years, but Harry has been an unbelievable force in making sure that the HRA runs smoothly. I could not be more honored to have worked with him for this time, and I really look forward to what we're able to do with the board moving forward and to continue helping the residents and the greater community. So congratulations, Harry. I can't be more proud to be in working with so closely with you with this.
Thank you, thank you. Hard not to cry, I'll tell you.
I would say go forth, do good, Harry. Keep going, and we should give you another round of applause for sure.
If it's not clear, we appreciate you, and we're going to take a quick recess so that we can do some pictures. We'll have a photo op, and we're going to go
Alright.
into recess at 7:16. All right, we are coming out of recess. It is 7:20 p.m. Next up on our agenda is approval of the consent agenda. The consent agenda begins with the memo on page 6 of the packet and concludes with the resolution that appears on page 22. The consent agenda includes the following license and registrations: a temporary on-sale liquor license for Tremendous Brewing Company at the location and date printed in the packet, a tobacco license for St. Peter Quick Mark at the location and dates within the packet, and a tree worker license for Quality Tree Service. The dates are listed in the packet. The consent agenda also includes the schedule of disbursements for September 18th through October 8th, 2025. Is there any discussion of any item that's on the consent agenda, Brad?
Just a quick question out of curiosity. Why does Tremendous need a temporary liquor license for their own location?
If you don't mind, Mayor members, let me get back to you on that one. I'm not sure why that is listed out, but I'll get
Okay.
back to you.
I have no opposition to it. I was just curious.
Yep.
Looks like there's an event happening, so perhaps must be something related to that.
We'll double check.
Okay.
All right. But you're not asking to have it removed from the
No, I was
consent
just curious.
agenda. Okay,
I have no opposition to it. I just seemed just curious why we.
that's a good question. Yeah, Ben?
It's for a liquor license. Is it for maybe a hard liquor license?
I'll do a check.
No, that one. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. If there are no further questions or no additional discussion, is there a motion to approve the resolution?
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Call the roll, please.
Councilmember Pettis,
Aye.
Councilmember Ram,
Aye.
Councilmember Weisenfeld,
Aye.
Councilmember Sharstrom,
Aye.
Councilmember DeVos,
Aye.
Mayor Noel,
Aye.
Councilmember Johnson.
Aye.
The resolution is approved. We have no items of unfinished business tonight. We will move on to new business. The first item of new business is a community tree planting grant acceptance, and Pete is here to talk to us about that.
Madam Mayor and City Council, as you can see from the memo here, the legislature has chosen St. Peter for an additional grant. What you may be aware of is that in the previous 2 years, we did receive two $150,000 grants from the DNR to implement our Emerald Ash Borer plan. With that, we've removed about 400 ash trees, and we have planted about 500 new trees. And so our goal with this grant would be to continue down that path. We'll be looking at planting and getting some bids out for additional trees. It'll be delivered around March 1st. Then we'll be working with Jake, our forester, and he will be planting trees like crazy and working to get trees removed that have been infected. We do have 2 years, basically from the 1st of October of this year to complete that work. Seems manageable, but it was very tight, and it was a continuous amount of work that our staff has done there. Kudos to my administrative staff, too, for following up on this and making sure everything fell in place. They did an outstanding job, as they always do. And we have a resolution on page 24 that we'd like to have you approve.
Sure.
So Pete, this is one of those grants where the council has to pass a resolution to get the dollars.
Yes, correct.
St. Peter was called out in the legislation, as I recall, on this. And so.
That's my understanding,
Yeah,
yes.
yeah. So, why do you think that was?
Probably because we had a plan and we put our mind to it and we followed it to a T, and we worked very effectively with AmeriCorps on a lot of those programs. We, as you guys know, we had, they call them volunteers, but we had someone assigned to us, and we've actually had 5 AmeriCorps interns assigned to us. We did have a tree inventory. We had all the information in place to make a very distinct impact on EAB within the community. And it shows through our GIS system that we have out there. We're able to demonstrate the effectiveness of basically our EAB program, which you guys graciously funded to get things going here several years ago when it was just a plan. So thank you for that, and it is showing up in all the hard work that staff has done.
So you've had staff that has worked hard, you had a council that was very supportive, there was
Yeah.
kind of a vision for how to fit this together, and so St. Peter kind of has a reputation
worked.
for doing this stuff.
Yep.
Yeah, doesn't hurt.
I just want to give you guys huge kudos. There's a lot of communities that have not reached out, not worked towards getting grants, and they've bared that full expense themselves.
Right.
Since they're bearing that huge expense on their own, they're not replacing the trees as quickly as we are. So not only are we going out and looking for grants, and when I say we, you guys, not us, you, going out and looking for the grants, but removing, you said 300 trees and replacing them with 500 trees?
Yep.
That's huge. Normally, it's a 1-to-1. You take a
Right.
tree out, you put a tree in. We've done more than that. That's
We have.
phenomenal. Just great job.
Any other questions and discussion?
Ditto.
Yeah.
Yep. Thank you.
Thanks to staff. I hope you will sincerely
Yep.
let them know how much we appreciate it. It really shows in
bet.
our community, so. Hearing no further discussion, the resolution accepting the community tree planting grant from the Minnesota Department of Natural Resources is on page 24 of the packet. Is there a motion to approve?
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Call the roll, please.
Councilmember Ram?
Aye.
Councilmember Weisenfeld?
Aye.
Councilmember Sharstrom?
Aye.
Councilmember DeVos?
Aye.
Mayor Noel?
Aye.
Councilmember Johnson?
Aye.
Councilmember Pettis?
Aye.
The resolution is approved. Thanks,
Nicely done.
Pete. Next up, current City Hall RFP.
Mayor members, this is something that you've talked about for quite a while. In fact, we started talking about it really probably back in November or December of 2024 when you had some thoughts and were considering the purchase of the Scholarship America property. What we're looking for tonight is a resolution approving solicitation and using the RFP process for the sale of land and building that's located at 227 South Front Street, so the current City Hall location. You've used this process in the past. As an example of that would be the old fire hall located on Mulberry. This is substantially similar to that in its design. I would say that this provides you with from at least my perspective in the discussion that you've had, the greatest opportunity to make decisions on a sale about based on its impact for the community, not just money, but its utilization or design and other things that using this process has available to you. You'll note that the RFP has some blanks, or more accurately, some X's filled in there. We don't have an exact timeline yet. You'll also note that within the memo, and it's articulated in the RFP as well, that there's some additional data that your consultants, ISG, are working on for you. They're fall into 2 primary categories. One relates to the land and easements and making sure we have that mapped out very appropriately, and the second of which has to do with the structure of itself, so that if there is a decision by a future developer that the council would pick, and there is some level of demolition that occurs at that location, we want to make sure that we can secure the building and the equipment that's attached for the substation. That's going to stay no matter what. So those are the 2 primary things that would be added as attachments to this RFP. Happy to answer questions as best I can, but there is a resolution that's included on page 34 that directs staff to solicit when we're able, when that other information is available. Our goal certainly will be to have a couple opportunities for tours for interested parties, folks that are likely to submit RFPs, and we'll give people 3 to 4 weeks to kind of get their stuff together and provide what we would hope would be a number of very qualified proposals.
All right, questions for Todd? Ben?
There's only one spot where we maybe need to X out, because it has a date that's prior to today. It would be all written proposals must be received by no later than 5 PM on September 26th. We just need to make sure we pull that out as well.
What page is that?
33.
It's on the fifth page. Last of the fifth page.
Great catch. Thank you very much.
Just so we can create that, and it's.
Yep,
there
thank
too.
you for that.
Yep.
Oh, Daryl.
So when would you be looking at having these back in for review then, Todd?
So my hope is that based on the timeline that ISG has indicated us, that you'll have an opportunity to at least review and hopefully do interviews before you get to the end of the year. So potentially accepting at the end of this year or in January-ish. That's my hope.
Thank you, appreciate it.
Any additional questions for Todd? Hearing none, the resolution authorizing issuance of a request for proposals for the sale of 227 South Front Street appears on page 34 of the packet. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
We have a motion and a second. Call the roll, please.
Councilmember Weisenfeld.
Aye.
Councilmember Sharstrom.
Aye.
Councilmember DeVos.
Aye.
Mayor Noel.
Aye.
Councilmember Johnson.
Aye.
Councilmember Pettis.
Aye.
Councilmember Ramp.
Aye.
The resolution is approved. Next up, Chamber of Commerce contract.
Mayor members, there's information included in your packet starting on page 35. I think it's important to note, and one thing that I didn't include within the body of the memo was that I believe this is the third time the council is reviewing this contract in the last 30 years. So there have not been a lot of significant changes to this over time. Really what we're looking for approval is to enter a contract with the Chamber of Commerce to continue to administrate the Tourism and Visitors Bureau. And so this provides for the funding mechanism and sets the expectation for the services that the Chamber of Commerce is going to provide as a part of that. As you're aware, for more than 30-plus years, the Chamber's performed that function, has been paid. The funding source for this is from lodging tax that is received by the city of St. Peter. And so, as an example, any funding that's provided to the chamber as a part of being paid for the services provided in this contract comes from those resources. Remaining dollars are to be administered by the Tourism and Visitors Bureau for grant programming and activities that support tourism and visitors within the community and the promotion of opportunities for tourism and additional visitors within St. Peter. As you know, under state statute, those dollars can't be spent on capital things like the development of a trail or something like that. It has to be spent in this fashion. And again, the Chamber's done this for many years. The contract that you see included in here runs through the end of 2028, so it concludes the last few months of 2025 and then is $20,000 per year for the services provided in 2026, a 3% increase in 2027, and then a 3% increase for the 12 months of 2028. At that time, or theoretically before the end of 2028, there'd be an opportunity to revisit this contract and modify terms or resource provision or qualifications or goals in the services provided as a part of the contract. The resolutions included in your packet, as well as a letter from the chamber providing their position. You'll also see some information about the dollars collected on page 44 that shows the amount of money that that hotel motel tax has provided. And the resolution directing entry into the contract is on page 45.
Are there any questions or discussion? Sorry, Carrie.
In the contract, I can't remember where I saw it, but it was on one of the first pages. It just says something about the chamber providing a budget and quarterly reports to the city council. Would that be something that's new?
So from my perspective, that isn't something that's new. That's been a part of the contract all the time, and we could do that in a different fashion, but in the future, as you know, or in the recent past, you'll see that those packets are included on your website, and so we could certainly tag you on those, but really the same information that's provided to the tourism board is what's expected as a part of this, so that information is already being developed.
Okay, so it's just streamlined through the Tourism Bureau, and then it's accessible by the rest of us on the website.
Yes.
I
and-
see.
And we could do that differently if you wanted to, but that's,
I don't think so. I just was wondering how that
Yeah.
worked.
yep.
Additional questions? As a former Tourism Bureau member, which Carrie was as well, I just want to take this opportunity to make sure that if there are individuals who are watching at home or who are part of organizations that that put on events in St. Peter, if you haven't heard about these grants, please reach out to Ed. I'm sure he'd be happy to talk to anybody who'd like more information about funds available through grants, what the guidelines are. It's a really great program to promote tourism in St. Peter. All right, if there's no further discussion, the resolution approving an update to the Chamber of Commerce contract with the City of St. Peter appears on page 45 of the packet. Is there a motion to approve? All right, we have a motion and a second. Call the roll, please.
Councilmember Sharstrom.
Aye.
Councilmember DeVos.
Aye.
Mayor Noel.
Aye.
Councilmember Johnson.
Aye.
Councilmember Pettis.
Aye.
Councilmember Ramp.
Aye.
Councilmember Weisenfeld.
Aye.
The resolution is approved. Last item of new business tonight is a city assistance request for the Nicollet County Trails Association Haunted Hayride.
So Mayor, members, this is a request that is substantially similar to what you've seen over the past few years from the Trails Association. They would like me to mention, and I think it's fair to mention, that they do work with other not-for-profits and organizations in town to help provide horsepower and people and others where they help dole out some money to some of those organizations for working at this event. I always like to mention when I'm on the radio too that this is really a fantastic event and that they've worked very diligently to make sure that it's accessible to everyone and that the hay racks and everything have wheelchair accessibility, and so it's a great opportunity for everyone to be able to participate. This occurs at Riverside Park. They're doing it a couple of weekends starting on October 17th and 18th, and then October 24th and 25th. This would allow them to conduct that event at that location, utilize your parking. They have certain rules that they have to follow and direction that they have to follow, not only from Pete's team, but potentially from the PD if things get a little bit too noisy. But it seems like it's been a fantastic, well-attended event over the number of years that they've put it on. Ultimately, any funds that don't stay locally really do stay locally, and that the Trails Association is from Nicollet County, and so they spend it on trails within the county, not just within the city of St. Peter. Happy to answer any questions that you might have. The resolution is included in your packet, and it starts on page 50 and runs through page 51. Like all events of this type within St. Peter, one of the big criteria that they have to meet is ensuring that they have the appropriate level of insurance for you, which they do have, and we'll make sure that we get the appropriate certificate demonstrating that as we move forward if you approve this tonight.
Questions or discussion? Daryl?
Wonderful event. Hopefully continue to do it.
Yep.
So,
It's a lot of fun, and kind of as indicated in the packet, I know that they work with some supervision from parks staff relative to sometimes needing to clear trees and things like that. And what I've heard from staff is that they're good to work with, they're responsive to questions and concerns, and they're really dedicated to putting on a good event and respectful of the trails that are there because they use them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They've been very cooperative, collaborative.
All right, if there's no further discussion, the resolution approving a request for city assistance for Nicollet County Trails Association Haunted Hayride appears on pages 50 through 51 of the packet. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor of approval? Oh, call the roll, please.
Councilmember DeVos.
Aye.
Mayor Noel.
Aye.
Councilmember Johnson.
Aye.
Councilmember Pettis.
Aye.
Councilmember Ramp.
Aye.
Councilmember Weisenfeld.
Aye.
Councilmember Sharstrom.
Aye.
The resolution is approved. We'll move on to reports. I was distracted thinking about reports, of which I have none tonight, except to note that we've had so many wonderful fall activities in the last few weekends, and so it's been wonderful to see people coming to St. Peter and enjoying our community. There's been Gustavus Homecoming and Family Weekend. There was a craft fair, I believe, in town this weekend as well, and so if you haven't been to St. Peter this fall, come check us out. We're a pretty good time. Are there any reports from council members? Hearing none, how about our city administrator?
Madam Mayor, members, I just want to mention 3 things. First of all, I'd like to get Pete to come up. We do want to talk about annual leaf pickup, which is starting on, well, today's the 13th. Started today, Pete. Started today. So if you wouldn't mind maybe mentioning just a couple of the rules that are associated with that so that we can make sure that people can utilize it. And as always, if you want, you can get your bags on your bags of leaves or however you want to carry them down to the compost facility on your own. That's open all the time as well. So Pete, if you wouldn't mind.
Speaking of a good time, as you guys know, leaves will start falling from trees here very soon, and depending on the type of year that we've had so far, they're kind of sticking to the tree. So we kind of had a wet late summer and an early fall, so the leaves are still green yet, and they're green in a lot of places within the state, and we expect things will take off here shortly. Our overall goal is if people can put leaves within 6 feet of the curb, not in the street, because we can't pick them up if they get into the street. We can pick them up when they're on the boulevard really quickly. Please don't put rocks, sticks, bags, tarps, anything within the leaves. Just leave the leaves there. We'll come and grab them. Avoid parking in front of the leaf piles. We do come out fairly early in the morning and we go right till about 4:30 at night. So it's getting pretty dark by the time we're working on this. And we will keep coming back. We start on north-south streets, and then when we get done with that, we do east-west streets. But we will come back, and usually we can get quite a few of those piles done first part of November. So stay with us, stay patient, and then like Todd had mentioned, if you do want to haul your leaves, you've had enough of them being in your front yard, you can drop them off at 1128 North Swift Street, which is right across from the Public Works facility there where we have a drop-off site. How about questions you guys may have?
Just a reminder, no leaves on the street or in the curbs. They need to be on your lawn.
Right. The reason is if it rains, they'll have a tendency to follow the storm drain down and become plugging up the drains on top and or get into the storm sewer, which is kind of a contaminant for the river there. So we'd like them on the boulevard, and we can pick them up really quick with how our machine works. And we do have just one machine. So we're hoping that everything goes well again and that our staff is ready to roll.
Anything to add or any questions? Thanks,
Thank you.
Pete.
Thank you very much, Pete. 2 other quick ones I just want to mention for folks that may not be familiar with it. I do want to mention the hot sheet. So that's something that is an electronic newsletter that comes out every other week, and it's a great source for information, whether it's when does leaf pickup start, or when's the next event for the Tremendous Playground, or what's going on at the next council meeting or happened at the last council meeting, or what are the meetings coming up for the next couple of weeks. All those things are on there and more. So that's available not only on our website, but if you give us a call or send us an email, we'll be happy to get on the list so that it automatically distributes to you when it's available. And the last one, Mayor members, we talked just before the meeting about potentially changing the time of the workshop next Monday. That would be a remote workshop, at least part of it will be. As you know, we're scheduled to take a tour of Parkview Manor, where Harry has and Michelle are not from, but work and participate so well in the activities there. So you're set to have a tour there, and you have a plethora of other agenda items to discuss as well, but we'll likely start that at 5 o'clock. So watch for some additional information about how, where, when, on the front page of your packet. Mayor members, that's all I have.
All right. If there's nothing further, how about a motion to adjourn?
So moved. Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? We are adjourned. Thanks, everyone.